Hello guys, from our hometown in Seward, Alaska, and this is kind of our last weekend together before we're hitting the road for 7 months again, and there's no shortage of things to do, but today we're just kind of out and about, wrapping up loose ends, meeting with people that we wanted to visit before we hit the road.
We had breakfast at the creperie with our friends Janet and Ivan, Le Bon Appetit, and then we thought we'd come down here and get some video footage. It's a gorgeous day out here with the way that the clouds look, and then we found a couple of little sea otters playing in the harbor.
Yeah, we made some new friends, if you can see them there behind us. We've gotten some great footage, but also we have the Sony back. I don't know if you guys can pick up on that because the improved video quality, but it got sent back to us saying they were unable to verify the problem. So it's a bit frustrating. It's pushing us more and more towards getting another camera and doing something with this one, because there's definitely a problem with it, and I don't want to just live with this problem of it shutting off every time I jar, not even roughly jar the camera, but just move it around on the tripod.
Well, even this morning, the very first time I turned it back on, I then adjusted our stick, our selfie stick that we're using, and it shut it off and then back on, and it would have, if it had been recording, it would have stopped, and it's
frustrating. But no, it's a great camera. We love it. We just want it to work properly. So we're going to share some of the neat footage that we've been gathering while we're out here walking around. Some time lapses. Our buddies, the sea otters, who seems to be possibly jerking himself off. I don't know.
I can't believe you just said that on camera.
That's self-pleasuring. But in reality, guys, I'm just kidding around, but sea otters preen themselves constantly. They are a very, very high maintenance creature, and 1 square inch of their coat has more fur than a German Shepherd. So they really need to keep themselves clean, and if you can find some pleasure in it, go right ahead.
I feel like I'm interrupting now.
You feel like a voyeur, a little dirty?
It's it does have that feel to it now that you said that. I just thought he was cleaning.
Well, now he's shamed.
I know. We embarrassed him.
I don't even know if it's a him or her. A lot of times you can see a big old set of nuts on him if it is a male.
I'm pretty sure I saw that. So
you saw some big nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Even with little nuts, we're still a male.
But yeah, they are a very fascinating creature, and when they get rescued and are at the Sea Life Center, somebody has to pretty much be with them 24 hours a day during the rehabilitation process. So we are going to share a loose idea of what our upcoming 7-month RV road trip is going to be like.
It's definitely different than last year.
It's going to be a lot different.
Yeah, particularly from the ground up, we really have a different philosophy and a different approach to this winter's trip.
So if you followed the last road trip, you will know that we did 17,000 miles, 7 months, all the way around the country, more of a bucket list trip. But
20 plus states.
Yeah,
22
some
states?
ridiculous number of states. But this trip, a lot different. This is going to be more slowing down the pace, living a little bit more instead of, I don't know. Racing, yeah.
More of a restorative trip, you know, where we really focus on relaxing, really enjoying a place, fully living in a place for a week or 2 or 3 or whatever we feel like.
Yeah. We're going to still be doing like fun, exciting things.
Restorative doesn't mean lazy or boring. It just means a slower pace. We're not going to be moving to a different location every other day.
Yeah, we're not going to be driving as much.
Yeah.
The idea is to stay west of the Rockies. Aside from like a little, that Montana area, you can teeter on either side of the Rockies, but yeah, for the most part, west of the Rockies, going to be in like the BLM lands, the places where we can kayak, ATV, and fish, and preferably towns that we could ride our ATV right into town. And if that town has a movie theater, that's even better, because we kind of enjoy movies. So if you know, does a town like this exist where there's free camping, beautiful views, beautiful location, glowing LTE cell phone service
for AT&T or Verizon.
Yeah, we're good. We're not picky. We have both.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else?
ATV friendly.
Yep. So we can drive on the streets and drive it into town to get groceries, and if that town has a movie theater, like I said. Fishing and kayaking. So if a town like this exists, please put it in the comments below. And if it exists west of the Rockies, definitely put it in the comments below, because we'll be going there.
Yeah, like one of our viewers told us, and I don't recall now who it was, but that basically the entire state of Montana is ATV friendly. And we already know that there are tons of things for us to do in Montana.
Yeah.
I love Montana.
So we're going to be spending a fair amount of time in Canada, not much.
No.
But then coming into Montana, Yellowstone area, Jackson Hole, all those really cool places in Utah like Moab, Bryce.
Definitely going to take advantage of the weather in terms of being able to stay farther north until it gets cooler and the weather changes.
Oh, the extraterrestrial highway. So we're going to go to Vegas because we have 1,000 trails there. And then we're going to do a jaunt up to the extraterrestrial highway.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, even though it's just going to be vast open desert, I think it's going to be really quirky and unique. And then probably just do Death Valley, but we'll be in and out of the San Diego area a lot because that's where my dad lives, and we've sent a food cache with him to San Diego of our Copper River Reds and our halibut. And then once our caribou gets processed, we're going to ship a FedEx box full of meat to his house. So we'll have this food cache that we can go in and out of. And then, I don't know if it's a little premature to share this, sorry, but we want to go somewhere foreign and exotic. And Cuba is really calling our names.
Africa's calling my name, by the way.
Well, we could do both.
I know. I'm just throwing that out there that this weekend I've been looking at getting us to Africa with our miles. And it's very doable.
Yeah. So there are going to be some international trips this winter. But Cuba is calling our name because in San Diego, if you followed our trip to Colombia, my dad dropped us off at this facility called CBX, and it's a cross border. So we were dropped off there, walked across a bridge straight into the Tijuana airport, and saved hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on our plane tickets.
$500 for the two of us to Colombia.
Yeah.
That's what we saved.
So the tickets to Havana, they have a nonstop from Tijuana to Havana, and it's like somewhere in the $400 range, where tickets out of an American airport have 2 connections, and they're up north of $700.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Oh no.
Was that zoomed in for the whole thing?
Why do you want to go to Africa?
Africa has always been at the top of my bucket list, and I've gotten to go to northern Africa, but never sub-Saharan. So just on a very broad scale, I really want to check that off of my bucket list specifically, and I have concerns about whether or not we can make it happen. I want to go to Olduvai Gorge and see Lucy's footprints, which is like 45 clicks from Olduvai Gorge. I was an anthropology major in college, and it's kind of like a pilgrimage for anthropologists to go there. It's actually in Tanzania, close to the Kenyan border, and so I think we'd be okay in Tanzania. Kenya is a little questionable these days there in terms of safety, and I really want to go to Kenya, but thinking now is probably not the time. So I was looking at South Africa or at Tanzania as two options. I don't know, there's something about that place that calls you and calls me, and I want to go see it. So why do you want to go to Cuba?
Because it's kind of been off limits, and that's a big rush, doing something, not that you're not supposed to do it or that you can't do it, but something just a little risky, and it just gets the heart pumping.
I think it's also a draw to us because it has been off limits for most Americans.
Mm-hmm.
It's not highly touristed at this point, and so it's not ruined per se
Yeah.
by the tourism. There's still an opportunity to see real Cuba.
Yep. And also, not a regular tourist can just go to Cuba quite yet, but they've broadened the rules, and under journalistic activity is the one we're shooting for, because we're journalizing here. Journalizing, is that a word? But under journalistic activity, you can go to Cuba. So thanks for spending a little bit of your time with us today. We're going to wrap this video up.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Most importantly, enjoy the ride.